boxes from we've been
What boxes?
loading. I made those bookshelves. Now the problem is I got to fill it with freaking books.
Oh, well, we're live. Welcome back to the Flannel Panel.
Sticking books.
Those cold opens.
Books.
I'm gonna get in trouble with one of these cold opens one of these days.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it one time. Welcome back to the Flannel Panel. We have a special one today. Ty just got back from a fishing trip. Corey had a stellar event that he was at this weekend. Troy is not hammered yet. Jason just got off work, and I'm exhausted. So let's go.
Sounds right.
It sounds about like a typical week, right? That's
Pretty
how it
much.
goes.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing out of the norm there is that Troy is not hammered. Like
Yeah.
everything else is
What
pretty
the
on par.
Times may vary. Yeah.
Do we need to delay the start for another 30 minutes and come back, or
I said yet, so it could be a live occurrence.
sorry, I fixed my beer. It was out of uniform there for a second.
Ooh,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm rocking.
We drank a lot of the PBR high proof this last week.
It's because you're not only fishermen, you're gentlemen and scholars, or mostly fishermen. No,
None
Not
of
sure
the
we really
above.
qualify in any of those three places.
So yeah, I think we need an overview. How many guys, how many days, and
how many beers?
yeah.
Oof. So Chris and I were there for 6 days. So we got there last Tuesday and then came home Monday. There were a total of 11 people on the trip. And it kind of went from 11 to 9 about halfway through the trip. So, yeah. And they kind of staggered out of there towards the end. On day one, I panicked because all of the beer I bought for my boat was almost gone on day one. And I was prepared for 6 days.
And it was just you and Chris.
Well, so the first morning we actually fished, there ended up being 4 of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 guys. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Well,
So-
that does sound like you're like trying to operate a professional level. You know, it's not amateur hour out here. We're trying to. You got to go.
Right. Well, when you go like 8 to 10 hours fishing at a time, you can do some damage. So, yeah.
I know you're out of sticks, but how far would the beer run have to be to fix the problem?
I mean, I think there's beer an hour away. Guaranteed an hour and a half.
Oh.
So, yeah. So fortunately, we had a guy that had to run back into town actually to pick up his boat that he had been waiting on for 2 years. He's like, I got the call. Like, I'm going. So He left, and we're like, hey, since you was, we're going to need you to help us out here.
You need to fill that sumbitch up with beer when you bring it back.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll bring it back empty.
Yep. So then we had no shortage after that. And I think things slowed down a little after day one. So we paced ourselves a little better.
Who's the best fisherman while hungover?
Oh man.
Sounds like a good challenge.
Yeah. I was going to say Nate, but Nate doesn't fish. Like, he just drives a boat. Like, that's like his duty while he is there is to drive Chris's boat. So in that case, it's probably Chris probably would win that. It's definitely not me. Like, if I get to the point where I'm hungover the next morning, I'm in trouble. Like, I'm not going anywhere. So
the first day is usually the trouble day because everyone is so excited to be there, right? Like, everyone tries to dunk from the free throw line just because you're so happy to be there.
Well, so we always get in trouble like the second night. And usually it's Friday night. This year it was kind of Thursday night because we always kind of kick things off with like, we used to call it Fiesta Friday. This year it kind of got bumped around a little. So we did the Fiesta on Wednesday night. And so that's like carne asada tacos and margaritas on top of everything else that had been happening for the rest of the day. And then by the time dinner's done, you switch to poker and bourbon, and then it gets dicey.
So how hard is it to poop over the side of a pontoon boat?
me This is way too much information. Will and I both had dramatic experiences during the day on the pontoon boat. So.
Yeah, that seems like that sounds like an awesome menu to have. It also sounds like a problem the next morning if you're trying to get out on the water early.
Yeah, neither one of us had to poop off the pontoon boat, but it may have been a better choice to try to do that than not. So.
Get up early and drink coffee. Look, these are pro tips. We should say this for later in the show. What am I doing? I'm giving away all the material for the end of the program.
Yeah. So but it was fun. Having Will there was a blast.
Yeah.
Hopefully he had as good a time as we did. But
You took a photo, Ty, that was like off the front of the boat, and it's like there's a fog over the whole fog over the whole front of the lake. Like, so is it like that most mornings? Some mornings, like that was amazing.
This time of year, it's that way every morning. So it's kind of the crazy time of year. It gets down to like 28 degrees at night when we're coming up there, or 28 degrees in the morning when we're coming up on the water, and the water temp is still like 54 degrees. And so that fog is just thick until that sun kind of rolls up over the hills and starts to burn it off. But that morning we took the picture, we like drove out, and I literally, like, my fish finder hadn't caught up with where we were. And so I'm trying to look around and figure out where the heck we're at on the lake. And I was like, I have no clue. I don't know what way I'm pointing. Well, I know that way's east because I can kind of see the sun. But other than that, I don't know where we're at. So it was fun, though.
That photos look cool.
Yeah. Super.
It was freaking cold is what it was. But yeah.
So I know Will tried some fly fishing, but do you mostly troll?
Yes, we trolled. We trolled a ton, and then we also just cast off the boat quite a bit. So Will got to fish the river some, which I don't think he ended up catching anything actually on the river, which the river portion is like one of the most overfished sections of river in the state. So it's a really tough kind of fishing area. But he did end up catching, that same day that the picture was taken, he ended up catching like 5 or 6 rainbows off the front of the boat on the fly rod, which was super cool. It was fun. So,
what was the biggest fish caught?
Oh, so I can't. A big one. So we caught a couple of the big lake trout, but kind of the craziest fish caught was day one, and this will be showing up on 8 Times Up Outdoors YouTube channel. So go watch this video because it was insane. So we get home from fishing, and one of the guys that showed up for the first time this year, he's another fly fisherman. He's like, I think I'm going to go hit the river for a little while. And so we're like, cool. So he ties all his stuff up. It takes him like 45 minutes to tie up his gear. And so there's like 3 of us just sitting there chirping at him like, hey, you ever going to go fish and blah, 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 all this crap. And so he walks down the river. It's like 25 yards to where you can start fishing. And in like 2 minutes, all of a sudden we see him and he's like waving, like, come here. And so one of the other guys, I see him go booking down the road with a net, like, I'm coming. And so he gets down there. I follow him down, and he pulls out, it's probably a 28-inch rainbow trout. I'm guessing 6 to 8 pound fish in like the first 3 minutes. Nice. And the craziest part of it is, so as soon as he took off down the road, Chris flew the drone up and got it all on drone footage. So we have the moment from when he sets the hook to him like showing the camera this just massive fish.
Jeez. So 8 Times Up's getting a YouTube video.
Yeah,
legit one.
Yeah, we're gonna have one out, and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah,
I can't wait to see it because Ty knows how to milk some footage. He's got like 10, 15-second videos up right now, like little teasers of this trip.
Oh yeah. No, I'm starting to learn that. I took lessons from my daughter, man. She's got like 1,200 friggin' subscribers. So I'm like, well, we'll do some shorts every day and then put out a video here and there. So
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it was fun. I wonder if I could pull it up. Well, I'll work on that. You guys talk about something else. I'll see if I can get that.
Well, I saw Will holding up a big fish. Did he catch the fish that he was holding up, or was he handling somebody else's trout?
I can neither confirm nor deny. I'll let Will tell that story at some point. So
right. Will was here really early for this and says, "Let's go." If you weren't on last week, we had an MF and good time, Conway. That was fun. Conway we jumped on for our longest podcast, whatever this is, YouTube live yet with Conway. That was a blast. James is here as usual. We got Kim, Michelle, and Nat all having a fun time in the chat down here.
I know people are blowing it up
That's
tonight.
great.
This is awesome. There's a Derek.
Derek is here. Conway saying first pour of Maverick. If you don't know, that's Troy's stuff. Very fruity and strong, violet overtones. Wow, good job.
I've never heard violet before.
Violet.
Derek Ellis is here. Happy Wednesday, folks. Let's get some whiskey going. Oh, this is great.
We opened one at a meeting, Troy. And
unfortunately, it was an AA meeting. And
syndicate seems to approve.
Oh, good. I'm glad people were liking it.
It's like, hey, ratchet it back. I got a guy. I can get you his PayPal. You can take your own bottle.
Yeah. I just bought another case because everything I bought for myself, I've distributed. So.
And by distributed, he means drank last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Ty. Not sure what the whole Magic Network is like. Saw Lee, don't know how to say the last name. Friday night, pretty entertaining.
Nice. I have no idea who that is. Yeah, I haven't heard of him.
He's a hack.
Kerbosic, maybe. Kerbosic. Yeah.
I thought you're all supposed to know each other. It's like the Illuminati or something.
That's what
maybe he does, but he's not allowed to talk about it.
No, it's good point.
Yeah. Conway saying juicy fruit and old fashioned
I can see that.
hard candy.
Oh,
yeah, it's super fruity. It's really good.
Yeah. I'm excited. Gotta
Ian
figure
said,
out a way to get some.
Almost a little bit of regret. It's like, what the heck? What the heck? We're gonna need to borrow your drone to drop a bottle of Maverick off in Canada.
Oh, good idea. I'll get it up like Niagara Falls and just fly it across.
There was a picture a little while ago that I saw, and it was a drone with a whole bunch of handguns that they tried to ship across, and it got caught in a tree. So there's a drone in a tree with handguns from, I'm guessing it was Detroit to Windsor or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if that's the best way to deliver bottles.
No. Just give one to Eric. Eric can get it to Josh Allen. He can just throw it.
Because we can't have those up here.
Maverick?
No, the other thing. It's Canada. Come on, we can have Maverick.
Weird. I thought rye whiskey was kind of like part of the diet. It's one of the food groups in Canada.
Surprisingly, the rye up here isn't actually rye.
Right.
So in Canada, you can call rye anything. It's usually a high corn percentage, but yeah. Cheers. So JP Weiser's rye has a ton of corn in it, but still not bad. The good ones anyway.
That's crazy. All right, let's see if I can do this.
Oh,
let's see.
Please hold.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Oh. Can you guys see that? Is it working
on the TV?
We can see you see that.
No, I was trying to share my screen.
Oh, here, let me.
What's happening?
Yeah, Corey can. There we go.
I added you.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
Dang.
And that was off a fly.
You just throw that back and get it to grow bigger.
Yeah, so there it is.
That is. Oh wow.
So did that go
That's it.
back, or does that go get mounted on someone's wall? Like what?
No, in that section of river, it's all catch and release, artificial flies and lures. So yeah, that one went back to live another day.
You don't eat that big sucker anyway, probably. I don't know.
That's why I
No.
swapped mine for a coin when we got one at Taneycoma that big. So that was good. It just went back in the lake.
Yep.
And then that fish gets bigger every time I tell a story because there's no actual fish on a wall somewhere that anyone can go measure. So
Exactly.
It's a
Did
good
you
strategy
do
right there.
Did you do the fish pots this year, or did that work out?
Oh yeah, we did
The-
the first couple of days.
Yeah.
We were doing biggest and most is what we did, and so we had one for each.
So who has the biggest?
And then
That's what she said.
there it is. There it is. And then we don't count any rainbow trout. Like rainbow trout do not count unless they're over 24 inches, is what we said. But I mean, other than coalies, we didn't catch anything that near that size of rainbows because they stock so many rainbows in this lake that it gets annoying how many we catch. So
Annoying's one way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah.
don't
Like,
remember
all
that.
right, let's go.
That's kind of
Yeah.
the way we treat pike on our
You know, we
trips.
caught too many fish. I was so pissed off. All we kept doing was
Yeah.
reeling these stupid fish.
yeah, well, when you're targeting other stuff and you're like, all right, get out of the way. So like the first day that Will was on our boat, we started out trolling, and I was like, yeah, we're just going to cover some ground, see if we can find anything. And so, we set up shop and crack some beers, and we're sitting there. About 45 minutes in, we're like, all right, we're not catching anything. Like, let's change plans. Let's do something else. And so we always run 4 poles off the back. So we start reeling them all in. 3 of the 4 had rainbow trout on them for probably 45 minutes. We just didn't know. Like, they were so small. Like, we had no clue. So then it gets annoying.
Yeah.
At that point, they're bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to catch real big fish.
We were trying. We were trying.
And you killed a nice bottle, it looked like.
We did. Man, friggin' Will showed up, and as Tease would say, he made an impression. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm excited to hear all about this. Are you guys going to do a recap?
I'm hope so.
Yeah.
Chris and I are going to try to go live next week if his work schedule will allow it. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going to see if Will has any time to jump on.
That'd
and
be
do
awesome.
kind of a recap. But yeah, Will showed up with a George T. Stag. It's at least, it was like 2018. Like, it wasn't even like a new one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And so night one,
128 proof?
Say what?
Is it that 100 or is it 128 proof?
Something like that. I'd
So
have to.
that's- If so, that's the 2018. I think that's one of the best B-tax like I've ever had.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd have to review the tape on the proof. I have the bottle.
Because the
On one
memory's
hand, I wish
foggy.
I would love to be able to do that, but I don't know if I could because how often do you get a bottle like that and you want to drink it with your friends, right? But for it to be gone in 2 days or whatever it was, it'd just be.
Oh,
I guess
Troy,
that's a good way to do it, though.
to be completely honest, it's like the best George T. Stag I ever drank was one that we just opened and like 8 buddies just murdered that son of a bitch around a fire. Like, it was the best experience ever. It was open and everybody had it, and we just laughed and laughed and laughed. It was done. It was fantastic.
I'd say the same about Pappy Van Winkle at
Yeah.
Whiskey Weekend.
Yep.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
Yeah,
would-
so it was fun. We cracked it the first night that Will was there. We let everyone have a pour, and then we kind of stashed it to the side so it didn't get drank at like 1 a.m. when
Now that's
everyone's
smart.
toasted. And so then we brought it back out Sunday night, kind of the last night, and there was only like 5 of us there, and then we killed the bottle that night, and everyone signed it. And by that point, there was like all these like catchphrases that had come up over the last few days, and so all the catchphrases are on the bottle, and yeah. So,
Well done.
That's awesome.
We were playing a game
Yes.
called Screw Your Neighbor. It's like a 1-card war game. Yeah, it's the simplest game ever. But if you get a king, you don't have to pass it. And so the order we were sitting in, it was Chris and then Will and then me. And so Chris was passing to Will the entire, time we were there. And freaking Will is like one of the luckiest people on earth. Like that dude had more kings the first couple of days than anyone. And so like every time Chris would try to pass, Will's flipping over a king. And so after the first day, like every time Chris saw Will, he'd be like, Will, F you and your kings, like the entire time. So that's what ended up on the bottle.
Nice.
And then Will started talking.
Just a really good magician, and he's just pulling kings out of the middle of the deck, at the bottom of the deck.
He could be. Yeah. Then Will started talking trash in the Pooh Bear voice. And I'm gonna stick it in your honey pots. So
It's aggressive.
Yeah.
it was great.
I love it. And you can, if you're watching and you want to check it out, that's 8 Times Up Outdoors on YouTube. And you're going to be throwing some fun. Well, I can't wait to see this drone footage. So you got to post that soon.
Yeah, it was cool. Chris is supposed to be sending some of that to me today. So
Sweet.
Go ahead and throw it that 8 Times Up is like the best outdoor swag and Patreon. Like it doesn't just go. Just subscribe for the swag. Yes. Yeah.
I was like, speaking of, if you go watch the last video, you could win this.
That's true.
That's right.
I used one that bag very recently. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we have adopted the catchphrase of the crappy YouTube channel with great Patreon swag. That's our new slogan.
I think that's the way it should go.
Yeah, I'm
It's pretty
totally fine with this. Yes.
Keep expectations real low. That's what we're going for.
I love it. Jason, what did you get up to this weekend?
Nothing. Well,
Nothing.
I didn't want to admit I'm part of the old man's club with Corey or with Conway. Excuse me, Corey. I had to apologize.
Whoa.
I was building bookshelves. I built them, and I was able to put together all of the bookshelves and only amass 3 injuries.
That's a win.
So does that count as moving furniture?
I get a lot more injuries from that moving furniture. And that's a wildcat.
All right.
But I stepped on a shelf and sprained the arch of my foot, and I tried to lift too much and strained my elbow, and you name it, I did it. But they're all up, and it's all. That was the easy part. I'll put in other books.
Building furniture and throwing his back out.
Mm-hmm.
I did that.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it right. Yeah. Troy's almost here, folks. Just a couple more shots. Yeah, we're good to go.
I did have an interesting story that is
injuries. What did Natalie do to you? Oh man.
I'll point on the doll where she touched me.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm from work, I'm still in the mode.
I think that'd flag us.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well, I would just smack it upside the head. That's all it would be. So,
okay.
Speaking of that, I got a text from her today. It was actually quite funny. She got a notice. She got a voicemail from the Utah County Sheriff's Department. A certain deputy, a sergeant, that said she had some important legal documents she needed to sign and send information to. Well, the funny part was it was obviously a scam, but I knew the guy. So she texted me and had me listen to it. And so I emailed it to him. And it was quite funny. So he was mad that they were using his name and what. So I immediately sent that to the Utah County Task Force for internet crimes. So that poor guy's going to get a talking to, I think.
Just to talk.
It was just funny because they used his name and like it was him, and it was a Southern gentleman, and this guy is definitely not Southern. So it was funny because I listened to the voicemail and I just got on email and texted or sent it to him like in 30 seconds, and the investigation was on. So
You got called the wrong number.
wrong house,
Yeah, no kidding.
wrong house,
Like
mofo.
what's a line from Tremors where you broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, right?
Exactly.
The wrong dudes.
Kim's got
Was
a
that-
great question here.
Yeah, I was like, that's a great question.
Can the flannel panel pull the respectable amount of time or days, maybe days, for a husband and wife team to kill a new bottle?
Now, that sounds like a poll in general conversation, but that I feel like that's a challenge.
Well, maybe we need to report back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think we
like
need-
something to remember is like my wife doesn't drink whiskey, so it would probably
Man.
take me almost a whole day to drink a bottle.
Man,
Well,
yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
well, the
Yeah,
problem
I was
with
like,
Tim,
Corey,
is this
does your
No, my wife doesn't drink bourbon.
yeah? So
This is
Jason,
for
you're up,
Jason
man.
and Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, the problem with this, we'd have to drink 2 bottles because she doesn't like what I like, and vice versa. So we'd have to. Yeah.
Okay.
that's BS. You two could find something you
I
two like
know.
together, and
Kill it.
Not
you
that
could
she
do
would.
some damage.
Yeah,
Jason, you have homework. Nat, you have some
Yeah.
homework.
Everybody should drink these.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. How many midwinter's night drams can you and Natalie kill in one day?
Challenge.
challenge. That encore, I could do easily. It's very easy to drink. They're both delicious, but
Oh yeah. Nat's chiming. 1980s wild turkey, 2 hours or less. That's my over and under right
Hell
there.
yeah.
I've had to hide that decanter bottle from her so it wouldn't disappear in that long.
And Jason, if you don't like wild turkey, I will be Natalie's partner. So
Yeah.
I like wild turkey, but I like the higher proof stuff, and she likes the sophisticated stuff.
Troy's
I like-
volunteered to be Nat's wild turkey husband.
Fair enough.
gobble, gobble.
Kim says,
Well,
I'm
you
in
need to
love
get
with Barrel Vantage. It's been 2 days and it's about 60% gone. I think Troy's waiting to say that's it.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't. I'm not familiar with Barrel Vantage. Is that a?
Me either.
It's brand new. I would like to try
Yeah.
it someday.
She says it feels like a lot, but if you, I think if you're enjoying it, just go after it.
And
Right?
they're higher proof. They're cast strength, I believe, or maybe not.
Jesus Christ, guys.
What was that, Corey?
So that's what she said. You kept saying if you like it, just keep going after it. And then Tim was like, it feels like a lot. I'm like, that's what she said. And I was like, oh, that's all there.
Actually, the last one we killed that quickly was another barrel. She loves dovetail, so it took us like a couple days to kill a dovetail.
Something I'm not proud of, but I just remember it is we drank way too long and too much Friday night. And Saturday morning when I got up, I looked at my phone and it was not morning. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had slept from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. without getting up. It was a personal best.
But what did you drink?
I drank a bottle. Well, I mean, I had help, but we drank a bottle of Russell's Reserve and half a bottle of something else and a little bit of some Two Worlds whiskey. So we were into her. I think it's been too long since we've been together. We peaked too early.
I don't know.
You guys
4 a.m.
rally-
doesn't sound like that was super early.
Yeah, you guys rally hard though, because that was probably at 6 where you down the bottle of Russell's.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Still up till 4.
Nobody came over till 7.
Okay.
And
I guess the caveat would be is Conway in the room, and in that case, I could kill it pretty quickly.
That's true.
Left hand, by the way, Conway.
I tucked my right hand into the pocket of my shorts earlier to make sure that.
now, yeah, is it? Are the roles? Does he have to be like in the same room to buffalo you, or could he do
I
it?
don't know. You think you type Buffalo?
He's probably got a score sheet every time he's seen us drinking right-handed during the video, and we'll send it
Yep.
back here.
The next time you guys are
It's up
together, which I think is soon, you guys might be
Hey,
shooting
far away.
some stuff. Yeah.
I think pending Conway's knee. I think
No.
Yeah.
possibly.
Oh, I forgot about
I
that.
think I guess I need to check in. I think I get to see Conway in a week.
Oh,
No
nice.
way.
Yeah. Week and a half.
That's
Week and
awesome.
a half. We're down in Dallas. So
I bought plane tickets to Salt Lake City, so everyone else needs to get up to Salt Lake. I made another fun airline decision after drinking on the internet. So, you know,
I
When
can
are-
easily
when are you
convert
going?
the basement to a bunkhouse. There's enough room, I think.
first weekend in November.
Yes.
So the
Is that the
third
deadline for the bottles too?
I
Oh,
hope.
I don't-
Yes.
What is it?
I was.
Okay.
Well, I would like
Oh.
it to be because
We probably
because
should.
I was
send
like,
that out.
probably should communicate that to everyone else so we all can figure that crap
well, I mean that's
out.
the way it was last year. I would like I need to get them out by the middle of November so we can
See?
get them to the first.
It just seems so soon. It's all coming so fast.
Because
It's
I mean,
been
you're talking.
fantastic.
Yeah, this is not.
I did decide on what bottle I'm sending.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Maverick?
well,
Nothing
put it
flashy,
in
but I
your-
don't think anybody else
Put
will
it
have
in
it.
your checked luggage and bring it to Salt Lake City.
I know. I hinted around to Patty that I would like to go to Utah. She's like, "Yeah, go ahead," but
What?
I don't know if she means that.
She
I don't know if
go.
she means it.
Do you need
That's
me
a
to make-
question you ask after you've already been, Troy.
Oh,
there's
like,
yeah,
are you serious? Like, when I come
Just
back
wait.
home? Like, yeah. Were you
Yeah.
serious?
That means
absolutely.
go.
I will say, as a teaser, that the advent calendars will contain a neat little gift from our Kim. She made something really nice for the advent calendars. I'll leave it right there. So thank you, Kim, in
Oh,
advance. It's pretty awesome.
That's
I hope it's a
awesome.
chocolate chip cookie.
A
I
You really
love
think you could get a
3-month-old
chocolate
chocolate
chip
chip
cookie?
cookies.
House?
He's fine.
Oh,
If
Do you
it's
need a sandwich, Troy?
Not right now, but
No.
my sandwich maker went to bed.
If it was peanut butter cookie, it'd be dead in the water, but I can let chocolate chip go.
So Corey,
Mhm.
you got up to a fun event on the weekend. What did you get into?
Thursday, like the weekend started a little early. Thursday night was the Big Brothers Big Sisters called the Manhattan. It's the second year we've hosted that. Somehow I ended up being the chairman of that committee. I'm not really sure how that works, but yeah. So it's a whiskey event fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So it's two stages. The downstairs it's in this place Prairie Wood, which has got like a kind of a big barn, and upstairs there's a house, and it's out outside of town, overlooks the Flint Hills. It's super pretty. But the lower level, they put like a buffet, and they had 4 whiskey stations, and then they had 3 local competitors competing in a contest for best Manhattan, like the beverage, the Manhattan. And then the silent auction, live auction had like a small jazz band playing downstairs, and then upstairs beforehand they had a VIP tasting. So I ran the VIP tasting upstairs. So we did 2 rounds of 24 people for VIP, and they all got a cocktail kit that was all embroidered up with Big Brothers Big Sisters stuff to take with them. A bottle of Ty's favorite Old Tub was in there as a mixer. And then also the VIP tasting itself was extra pours of whiskey. So we did Van Winkle Rye, Saz 18, and George T. Stagg was the VIP tasting beforehand. So
Quite
some of those people
interesting.
have drank whiskey before, some of them haven't. So I mean, some people are in it for just to make the donation for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I do a big full tasting and PowerPoint presentation with like the history of whiskey and photos from the distillery and all this. That's pretty. We've made so many trips like with y'all here over the last few years in and out of there. To be able to show pictures of like my friends at some of these places, to be like, oh yeah, like, here, this is us at Buffalo Trace, and this is stuff like that is pretty cool.
Here's
For
a picture of me and Freddie.
Yeah.
I did put that in there. Here's a picture of me and Freddie Johnson. So yeah, it was really cool. The Van Winkle Rye got smoked by everything else in the tasting, but I kind of expected that. Yeah, it was really good. And then everybody went downstairs. The silent auction was good. I had a painting in the auction. I put a little horse soldier bourbon in it, and then it's fun to be able to say things like my friend Mark Nooch.
What did it
cool.
sell for? Don't be humble.
$1,100.
Oh.
So yeah, pretty good. So there was some horse soldier in it, and then we pinged Mark, and Mark signed a bottle of horse soldier to go with it. So
That's cool.
and the lady that bought it is the general manager of the Bluemont Hotel, which is a cool hotel next to Aggieville, right next to campus in Manhattan. So I don't know if it end up there, but I'm hopeful that maybe
That one, maybe a few more in the future.
that would be pretty cool. So
I really
yeah, it was
think
really cool. That was really
you're not
good.
going to be able to paint those things fast enough, I don't think.
Man, I hope that would be great. Yeah, I had enough people come by that are wanting to do an event. So I think that once the little tiny gallery space I'm part of in Wamigo is open, they have an upstairs that's finished but empty. Does that make sense? Like like all the stuff's up there, air conditioned floor and all the other things, but it's empty right now. It eventually become a production space for the t-shirt company that's gonna go in there. But before it's filled, I want to throw like a canvas and cocktails kind of event up there, which I think would be really sweet. So
I would be.
We need 5 days notice.
Yeah, seriously, sign me up.
And make sure there's a buffalo plaid one there.
yeah, I got close.
I was like, it's the one right behind
yeah.
Not far off.
Yeah.
Because Patty's in. Patty's in.
Oh, yeah. You got to see this. Our whole upstairs looks like that.
Yeah. No, I want to do. We'll do one of these nights and go live on like a Friday night or a Saturday. And
Yeah, we got to plan that.
we do it, and hang out, and invite some of our friends and stuff. It'd be cool.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's turned out to kind of be a thing. So I think I'm working on building a website that'll allow me to do prints and all kinds of other stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna turn into a job, but that's okay.
Well,
We got you.
that may be convenient timing, right?
That might be a job you like, though. Yeah.
Could be. It could be. Yeah. That was really good. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's for great cause too. So Big Brothers Big Sisters, big deal. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Another event next month for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Come on. If only I knew a way to make sure that the magician had a second show. Whose cat is loose?
I know, seriously.
There's a cat
Whose
somewhere
cat
in my
just got
house. I
loose?
think. Yeah. I don't own a cat.
Ellie's
What's
cat.
going on?
Jesus.
Natalie, your cat is talking.
Yeah.
We have a cat, but it won't come anywhere close to me.
It's a codependent little idiot. Drives me insane.
You
cries.
love it. Let's be honest.
He's down. He goes down to take a shit, cries the entire time for her while he's taking a dump, and then cries his way back.
Maybe it was difficult. Maybe it was the hairball or something.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
maybe
like,
he's more
hey-
fiber. You ever think about his diet? It's
He's
not right.
made
Me and Will sounded the
Grass the
same
entire
way on the boat.
It's not a bad cat, but
No, seriously, if you told me this morning we've been talking about taking his shit, as a cat,
It's a good show. I mean, this is
I
quality.
still think it's Tuesday, so it's
I
okay.
usually try to take notes so I know what to talk about. But there's no way I can make notes for that.
I mean,
I have no cat shit jokes.
you can. It's
Not yet, but you're gonna
Man,
be
I had
watching.
that
You're gonna be
great
watching.
I was muted myself. So fuck.
Uh,
Next week, Troy's going to come in hot with all the cat jokes.
You ever
Yeah.
been in a litter box and want? Yeah,
I wrote a bunch of catching material. It's really going to be very good for you.
you never know. Well, speaking of which, I'm drinking.
is it
Act
is,
9.
Does that remind you of that, or
No,
It's like, which one is it, Troy?
this is last year's Act 9, Scene 1.
Oh, nice.
If you want a chance to
From our friends in
replace
Utah.
that, probably your best chance to do it would probably be in Utah.
All right, I'm gonna circle back on that and see. I haven't even
just
looked at.
do it?
I don't know how to get on an airplane. I don't know how to do anything. I have to buy an airplane ticket.
You
That's
don't
the-
know how to
that's the
get
start.
on
You already know how to do that.
And how to do what?
You know how to buy a plane ticket.
Well,
You don't even. You just
Just
gotta buy
give me
some
your credit
cars.
card number. We'll
Yeah,
make
call
it
me
that.
happen.
Yeah.
You take it carry on with some drawers and some socks because I ain't sharing that. But we have the same size flannel size, so we can just share.
Oh, nice. Well, you know what? If I keep eating, I want to get bigger sizes. Things are getting tight.
Yeah.
Oh,
And pro tip: check a bag. That way you can haul whiskey.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
yes. Okay.
yeah, Troy, you got to make it. Andrew
Just call
West.
Natalie and give her your credit card number, and Nat will
No
book it.
question. Well,
Tips
and
and bits.
She's a professional.
I won't guarantee this, but I do know, generally speaking, the first Friday of the month is when High West releases a barrel select distillery only. That's when we got ours. So there might
It's
be a
also
distillery only up
possible
there too.
to be there that day. Weird.
Meant to
I
be,
think I
Troy.
have a-
It's meant
All
to
right.
be.
Dang it. I'm going to have to go to Utah.
Telling you, you love this.
You're also gonna have to make a whole bunch of shorts because apparently that's how we get YouTube views.
I will do it. Yeah.
That's
Troy's
Friend of
like,
mine
I
from
gotta
work
wear shorts to Utah. Okay, I'm in.
just
Ty,
came
send
back
us
from
the,
Utah.
send us the template. What do we have to do? Is it just have to be landscape or vertical? Is it just vertical videos that you post?
You know what I hate are those vertical videos only take up a third of the screen. What's up with that?
That's shorts.
And the outside are blurred out.
Well,
Why are
think
they
of shorts versus pants. You only have half. It's okay. Nat's saying I'll be your travel agent and turkey partner.
All right.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Jesus.
This is what we
You
need.
want to go to Utah?
What's the
If things go
closest?
well, I'll just move in there.
Completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Is there an Airbnb in your gated neighborhood that I could?
You know, I actually looked. There is one like 2 blocks away, but not in the neighborhood.
Conway sits on the. He and I getting an Airbnb. So
Well, if you guys,
We'll
we can
handle
find
all of this off the show, but for fuck's sake, just get your ass.
for logistics sake,
just buy a ticket.
The moral of the story is just do it.
like I said, if I have to buy a bunch of inflatable beds and turn this into a bunkhouse
I
basement,
wasn't sure what that was. I saw Ian make
Inflatable
a
beds.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
saying less bookshelves, more bunk beds. What's going on over there?
Amen.
Let's-
Tell Matt.
I don't know, Troy. You on the
Bunk
top
beds are
bunk?
much easier to set
Oh
up.
no,
than
I
these damn
outgrew the
bookshelves.
top bunk 22 years ago.
All right. So tune in next week to make sure Troy is actually going to Utah.
So
And we could make the greatest.
I'll commit to shoot footage while we're there. Some footage if we go do some fun stuff. It'll be good.
and-
I wrote
and,
down dates last week. It's
Yeah,
like
I
November
hope
9th
they-
through the 6th.
After this crazy art exhibit downtown last time that was all made out of like recycled trash. Like it was
it was interesting.
it was cool.
They have I've been looking for all sorts of fun stuff. I was hoping that the Kindig Design, they usually do their tours. I don't know if you know about them. They have that Bitchin' Rides.
Yes.
A Motor Trend. Their shop is not very far away. It used to be like 2 blocks from our house. And they usually do tours and you go see all that stuff on Fridays. But that weekend you're up is the SEMA show, so nobody will be there. But in the future,
that's all right. There's a giant gun range close to your house too. If we get bored,
there is that.
I like shooting.
I may or may not know, as previous stories, I may or not know some deputies that can get us into the range down there too.
Did you see Natalie's post? She wants to know maybe if Ty's available.
I better book that shit too. And Ian.
Come on, it's not far away.
I have to. I actually am gonna go look because we're flying to Seattle that weekend. So I got to see where my layovers are at, and we'll see if we could shuffle some stuff around.
Oh yeah.
Can you just drop me off on your way to Seattle on the way home from Seattle somewhere in the middle? Like,
I was looking at these bookshelves. Thank you.
Bookshelves mean a lot to you, don't they, Jason?
Well, let me back up. Well, I was looking at them. I was imagining, like, just for fun, I might make this the greatest pillow fort of all time for y'all to sleep in. No, I mean, tie the bookshelves with the blankets. This thing could be an amazing
flannel pillows flying everywhere. I don't know.
I'll give you credit because I don't have enough books laying around here for me to sit around and think, you know what, I need to build a shelf.
Troy, I think he just invited you to have a pillow fight with him in Utah, which that got weird.
Yeah,
got weird.
it's like a
I'm not
sleepover. Yeah.
I'm not a tall dude, Jason. All I have to do is you have to run an extension cord because an old shit at this point. I have to have a place to plug in my CPAP machine. But other than that, I can sleep on the couch. Yeah.
No, we're with you. We're both, Matt and I both have them. So distilled water is on the weekly grocery list.
Believe that.
I got in trouble by mine because I wasn't using it enough. Does yours give you feedback?
Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew, you come to Utah, you save me some shipping.
Oh.
Yeah, freaking.
I can't afford not to
shipping
go.
Canada is expensive.
This is going to turn into Flannel Fest. If Andrew shows up,
he priced me in. You know what I mean?
Troy, Ian, like, can't you take like a?
I'm gonna have to start looking on Amazon for some flannel footy pajamas for everybody.
If I come to Utah, I don't even know if I'm packing any flannels though, because those things are heavy and I can't afford.
Dude, we're the same size. Just wear mine.
Wear
We're
one.
good.
Oh,
I got a few left over.
So last time when I rolled out, this is too much information for just general public. So I took 2 flannel
We're all
shirts,
friends here.
and that was gold. It was fine. They have a washer and dryer. If you need to do laundry, do laundry. What the shit?
Oh, I could bring a lot of laundry because I don't have a washer or a dryer right now. So yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, it's gonna be like
I'm not going to bring any flannels, but all my laundry's coming.
I'm bringing a lot of socks and underwear.
You don't even do that. I'll go to my favorite place, which is DXL, which is Big Guy Gap, which I love. It's my favorite place in the world. I will go buy you a package of T-shirts and socks and drawers, and they're yours. You don't even have to pack.
You have your own shelf on the bookshelf.
That'll happen. Yeah, on the bookshelf.
On the bookshelf. The best part is I could just throw them with my regular laundry later because we're friends.
I'm gonna work on it. Oh.
Yeah, last time Jason and I went through this great cigar tobacco shop, which had a gigantic walk-in humidor, which smelled glorious. Like it was one of those stores. Like the second that you open the outside door, and when the seal was broken when you open the door, you're just like, wow! It just smelled so good. It wasn't smoke; it was all just that tobacco smell.
Yeah,
and then the walk-in humidor was just incredible. So last time we went, we bought cigars, and I actually brought cigars home, which I would like to do again. But pretty sure this like a round of cigars on that back patio as the sun goes down.
The fire pit set up. I've been excited to have somebody use the fire pit.
We had a
session of the flannel panel.
Yeah, I spent that whole night cooking wings, so I smoked right through the sunset. Yeah. But this time I'm thinking we order in food and just put our feet up and smoke some cigars out on the patio. The sun goes down in Utah, and that sounds like living, brother.
So Corey, really what you're saying is you want to smoke through the sunset again, just in a different way.
But with less work.
Well, if you want to do that way, my son lives with us too. I'm sure he can set that up too. Allegedly.
Oh, to smoke through the weekend.
I'd be interested in trying some of that.
What's his Pink Floyd knowledge like? Has he have watched the version sync to Wizard of Oz? Because I have it on my laptop. We'll
he definitely would.
Yeah, do you have a projector? I can share it on the side of your house. We'll invite the neighbors over. It'd be cool.
Oh, we're in. I can do that.
That is a wait. I'm texting her right now about Utah.
Troy's invested in this now.
Are you sending Patty texts about airline tickets?
I mentioned it to her, and she said we'd figure it out, but we didn't. So yeah, this will be.
So just a quick preemptive, just a tip. If you can and afford to fly Delta into Salt Lake, fly Delta, or else you have to walk 2 miles.
I'll write that down.
It's fine. It's worth the walk.
And Derek's question: we own a washer and dryer, but neither one of them are currently hooked up. We can't afford the utility bills.
Patreon. Anyway,
Conway, we figured out
over the
Patreon
Amish and they just rub it on a rock.
Troy's in some renovations right now. I think that's why.
Patreon level. Get Troy utilities paid. It's got to only be like $60.
Patty's currently pedaling a bike to power up his lights right now. So
put Patty's phone number in the chat, and we'll all text her to say that she should let you go.
We demoed the laundry room July 10th, and we're hoping to put it back together by the beginning of November. So fingers crossed.
Ooh. Rough.
This shirt
luck.
stinks like hell. So I can.
Oh, damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Troy has reached his moment.
Right.
Yes, Troy has entered the
If you
chat.
tuned in for the first
That
50
much?
minutes, we have now seen Troy reach Whiskey Wednesday status.
So Troy, there's a. Did you ever watch WKRP?
Oh yeah.
So there's an episode where Johnny Fever, they're doing a test with the highway patrol, and they're doing a speed test. And after you drink, you're supposed to like hit a buzzer when the light comes on. And Johnny Fever is the only one. The more he drinks, like the faster he gets, and like I can't figure it out. So that's Troy. After about
That's
three,
Troy
drinks,
for
like,
sure.
he's reacting, like quick, faster.
Yeah. Well, because I'm usually worried about talking over you guys, but when I get drunk, I don't care. I'm just talking.
It's all good.
That's the way that's worked all
It's the
time.
magic. You know, I actually did that as a job once, as a part-time gig for the weekend. Every so often, they do the test up at post for the deputies to test DUIs. And so they shuttled us up in a bus, paid us overtime on a Saturday, shuttled us up to the academy, measured everything scientifically, and gave us a bunch of alcohol to drink. And they had three classes: under the limit but drinking, not had any, and then overserved. You just drink and get sobriety tested and see if you win.
Can we do that while we're in Utah? Can you make that
I might
happen?
be able to do it.
See,
I
I
can
feel like I
ask.
was born for that job.
Kind of seems like that'd be good
It's
content.
not as glamorous as it sounds, because they shoveled Gentleman Jack down my face, which
We'll bring our own booze.
yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind Gentleman Jack. I don't mind it.
No,
They-
I used to really think
It's
it was
not
good.
bad. I mean, we were literally the purpose of getting drunk. They
Can
went
we
in,
switch
get your body.
bonded? That's fine. Like it's.
They
that was
do the math and say this is how much you're going to need to get drunk, and then they fill it up and just say drink it all.
See,
Yeah.
That's what-
And
that's
Troy's
what-
like, "Come
Run
on,
some
boys, fill it up
vegetables.
some more."
Exactly.
a friend of mine at work told me he drinks bourbon. I said, well, what do you drink? He says, I drink Jack Daniels, like Old Number 7, and Jack Honey. I'm like, well, I can work with that. That's a starting point. We'll get you
Absolutely.
a single barrel and send you on
We'll
your
get
way.
you eventually.
Yeah, I have this Maverick for sale.
Yeah, that's so good.
So, Jason, do they get to do a test where you actually get to drive the car, or no?
No, you go into a room and you simulate being pulled over. So you sit in a chair and then you have to get out of the chair. Funny side note is I was actually in the legally sober category, but it was before my hip surgery. So I couldn't do any of the sobriety tests because of my hips.
No, so you just got paid to drink.
I got paid to drink, and because I was under the limit, I failed so many officers because they thought I was drunk and I was just
Acting.
hobbled.
Ah.
I
You
was.
kind of made those motherfuckers tricky.
I did.
That's the time I'm taking my two.
Give you the reverse sozy.
Do you remember that first episode of Flannel Panel when he came on and was drinking out of the Viking horn?
Yeah,
And we thought he was hammered, and at the end he said he was faking the whole time. So I don't know.
you can never trust Jason.
I
No.
don't think so.
The trick is the cheeks. The cheeks never lie.
Oh,
I get red like Santa Claus. You know I've been drinking.
All right.
Oh,
let's see.
I was
then.
like, your lighting is so bright.
Yeah,
It's
your
going to wash it
I
all
know,
out right now.
I look like I have one of those stupid antique filters on. I got to work on my lighting.
you got a very regal setup, though. I think you should
Yeah.
leave it. It's appropriate.
It is fancy.
Yeah.
looking good. What is
I
that you're
just grabbed
drinking?
some. This
Jack-
single barrel proof. We actually got this from Merle's Whiskey Kitchen, Ty, when we went to Whiskey Weekend Batch 4.
Yeah, 3, 4.
It was sitting on the shelf, so I thought I'd taste like
I
straight
missed
cough
it. What are you drinking?
Single barrel proof from
Oh,
Merle's
yeah.
Whiskey Kitchen in Louisville.
You know, I hate to say it, but those are pretty dang good.
Yeah, they are.
Not the one I get, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This one
I-
tastes like straight Luden's cough drops, like cherry with a little bit of medicinal. It's actually pretty good.
Those things were the cheat code for a little bit. Like after everybody caught on to Knob Creek, single barrels, and they were super old and they kind of went away. Then they're for a run. It was the Jack Daniel's single barrels. But
Yeah, I think
there's many others show up recently.
Yeah.
We did a little challenge though, and the ones they sent up to Canada, not up to snuff. Remember that one? It was just hot garbage. Hot garbage. I guess it wasn't a pick though. It was just a regular one. So
correct. Yeah. And
a lot of those do come in super hot.
Super hot. After they sit, some of them get significantly better after they've been open for a second. Open that thing up, pour the neck out, and let it sit for a month, and then see what's up.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. I'm still talking to Patty. We're still talking about Jack Daniels. We're on to something else.
You're good.
I was actually thinking about. Go ahead, Corey. What was that?
I said, tell us what she sent. We'll help you respond. What she
sent. Oh, she's wanting to know dates and times. Is there a certain time of day I need to be in Utah, or
I'm off that whole weekend? So you should.
Let's order the 3rd through the 6th.
Thursday morning and go home Sunday.
That's the other great part of this is I'm 20 minutes from the airport. So if you text at any given time, anyone happens to be, ask JT, you text me and say, I'll be landing at so-and-so, or I'm landing in the airport. I will be there in 20 minutes before you can get out the door.
Well, that goes to anybody.
What time is your flight?
Anybody.
His number is.
I landed 11 on Thursday.
And his credit card number is already been shared, so you can just book your flight on that. So.
Yeah, I landed 11:15 Thursday morning, Thursday the 3rd.
Okay,
and I fly home on.
And you can show up if you need to show up Thursday evening, Friday morning. I'm your guy.
And I fly home Sunday afternoon. That way, if I'm hungover, because we maxed it out last Saturday night, I have recovery time.
Saturday, I will take any amount of Troy I can get.
Ooh. Here's a fun fact. I found out that I've got like 2 weeks of vacation time at work that I didn't know I had. Like they said, you know, schedule it. So I just need to burn days. So yeah, we take off Wednesday to Monday.
Burning days and burning some with Jason. It'll be great.
There you go. Show up Monday, move furniture on Wednesday.
Wait a minute.
Move
furniture about moving?
Patty. Move furniture on Wednesday for Patty, and then you can leave on Thursday and be okay with it.
Oh, okay.
That got real weird, Jason.
I misspoke.
And on that note, it's time for just the tip.
Yeah, she's watching a
couple. Ian with the segue. Well done.
Perfect.
So Troy's tip is
I do have a tip, but
okay.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, This is way off from what we've been talking about, but I got so excited thinking about Ty's fishing trip and stuff, and I can never think of just the tip, but this is something I discovered myself years ago, and it's like changed our whole fishing trip. So we're fishing out a 14-foot boat, so the space is limited. And I know you guys have pontoons and stuff, so it's not so bad, and we also fly in, so nets are a problem. And I saw like where Ty had like rod holders holding you got your net vertical. Well, that's a problem in a boat. So I found this thing on the internet. This is a Frable. I think it's called a hybrid net. It's just like a tube. It almost looks like a handle, but it's got a sliding handle on it, and the net opens up out of the handle. Have you ever seen anything like this before? This is like the best thing. It's great for putting in the airplane. You know, it's not snagging anything in the plane, and it saves all kind of room on a flying fishing trip in the boat. You're not stumbling around the net all day. The only downside about the net is these are not like nylon. They're almost more like a terry cloth fiber net. So treble hooks bury in them. Terrible. Yeah. So I try like hell not to put too many fish like treble hooks in them. So it's got to be like a real nice walleye we don't lose, or like a 40-inch pike. I won't put a 30-inch pike in this thing just because they just roll in the net and I'm cutting hooks out of the net. So, but other than that, but anyway, I actually found this on the internet and bought this, and then since then everybody in our group has bought one of these now. So this has really been a game changer on our fishing trips.
Love it.
So my question is, Troy, when you extend it, can you like overextend it and it comes apart?
Nope. It's all hinged together. The only Like my son one time had a hard time. You've got to extend it. There's a slot in it, and that has to be up. So my son got excited one time and had it down, and it kind of binded up on itself, and he couldn't get it open and missed a fish. But it's pretty easy. Every year before I go, I give it a shot at WD-40 in the handle. But I've had this thing for 10 years. It's been a good net. So yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, I asked that because one of our fishing trips, Chris tried to extend the net and scoop a salmon that we were after, and overextended, and the top half of the net is now at the bottom of the lake.
Oh yeah, it's not an overly long. It doesn't extend to like an 8-foot handle. It's just a 4-foot handle or whatever. But
if you've got that, and then you've got the PVC P tube, like you're set on the boat. Like I don't know that you need anything else.
No, yeah, we're good. But it has changed we don't net every fish anymore. Like I say, it's a pain to put fish in the net. So I grab a lot of. Normally, I want to grab a pike, but I've grabbed a lot of pike by the back of the head out of the lake just because I don't want to put them in the net because it's a pain in the butt.
Yep. We'll muscle over the edge of the boat a bunch of rainbow trout unless it's this one needs for sure not to get lost rainbow for the exact same reason. It's like you just don't want to set multiple hooks in that or you're cutting stuff out. That's awesome net though. I'm gonna need you to put the link in the comments. Can you put the link in?
Sure, I'll look it up.
You know what professionals do? Put the links in the comments.
Yeah,
I've seen it on the YouTubes.
That's a good thing to say. If you want to throw comments in, just do it. Don't be afraid. Throw some comments in. If you want to like it, we probably should do this at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, like, subscribe. Just did it.
Hey, somebody subscribe to this son of a bitch.
If you suffered this long, you may as well do it. Is what we're saying.
Hit the button. Don't cost nothing.
Hey, Troy, it's not just a tip, but Conway confirmed his arrival as well for Salt Lake City. So,
yeah, I think it's a done deal at this point.
You're saying we just put Ty and Ian now.
Unless it's like a $1,200 ticket or something.
Do we need to start like a GoFundMe? Like, how do we get you out of Canada?
Me?
Yeah, no, I think I can swing it. I think it's a done deal.
It's work for me. That's all.
I can write a very motivational letter. I'm available for phone calls.
Just throw an A in there.
Yeah, if you need a doctor's note, Nat would be more than happy to sign one.
Well, these are all good things. These are all good things.
Mental Health Day. I'm sure Nat will be more than happy to.
I'll have to ponder this for sure.
Yeah.
And we have an emotional support cat. If you want it, you heard it earlier.
Yeah.
Calling you for my friend Ian Campbell.
I'm here calling. Yeah. Got a professional voiceover for my sick note. It's perfect. Yeah. Jason, I believe you have just the tip.
It's a small one. It was fun. I was actually watching it the other night, and if you're bored, you have nothing to do. There's a show on HBO Max called 101 Places to Party Before You Die.
Oh.
And it's a travel show. It has a couple. Adam Pally, he's a B actor. You'd know him if he's one of those if you sell him. But him and another comedian, they just tour around the country, and they have 48 hours, I think it is. They have the timer and all the things that they can do. And they actually, the first one they did I watched was in Denver, and there was a lot of things in Denver that they covered that I've never been to that I'm going to go next time I go to Denver. They actually do one in Moab, Utah too. But they just kind of go around the country and eat, drink, and be merry. And
this sounds like a good job. Can we do this?
And they talk about all the time how it's the best job they've ever had. Sneaking out on the weekends to party with his best friend and get paid by HBO to do it.
Can we get HBO to put out our new show called Old AF, and we just go party in other places?
Yeah. My job stinks.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. That's cool. So is it multiple episodes, or is it like?
Yes, they have one season now. I think
seems like a lot, but
there's 8 or 9 episodes.
Okay,
I'm on episode 6.
What network is it on, or what site?
HBO Max, I think.
Oh, HBO Max.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember. Is it Amazon Prime? You can get stuff from HBO.
I think so.
But anyway, it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. They do.
So
A lot of eating and drinking. They went to Puerto Rico in the last one, and they toured the oldest rum distillery in the world, and had a great time drinking. And yeah, it's
That
fun.
place is rad. Just as a side note, I would definitely go party there. Yep.
I feel like this is an opportunity missed for us. This should have been our show. I'm
I
both
agree.
excited about the fact that it's a show, and I'm a little disappointed. Yep. We got to come up with the next great, amazing travel show.
Yeah.
And be famous enough that HBO signs us to do said travel show.
Listen, we're very charming, Ty. Jesus Christ. We have like tens of followers online.
Yeah.
I'm not charming,
You
but
can do a little
I
street
grow on you.
magic.
Trey makes an impression for sure.
Mhm.
I grow on you.
I would pay to watch Ty do street magic in sunny Chile.
I would like to have 3 or 4 6'8" guys around me when I do that, so I don't get lit on fire.
You got 5'8" guys that can.
Yes. You got a bunch of 5'8" guys. They're very impressive.
And then Ian and Troy.
They're
They
the
have the two towers, and then we're the portcullis in the middle.
Yeah, it's fun.
That'll be fun. Ty, just the tip.
Just the tip. I'm gonna go with this. So I brought this because we're doing Whiskey Wednesday, and I was like, at some point, Ian's gonna ask me what I'm drinking. He didn't. So this
totally
actually works out because now I have just the tip because wasn't really prepared. So this right here.
What is that?
I am
Hold on.
drinking what we call damn whiskey right here. So this is
Oh,
we have a little swag we give out every year.
Look at
But
that.
our damn whiskey, every year when fishing trip, everyone brings a bottle of 100 proof or higher bourbon or rye. We've got a 3-gallon barrel. We all dump those bottles into that 3-gallon barrel. And then a year later, when we come back, we dump it back out, distribute it, whatever's left to people, and share it with everyone. And so I don't think my tip is just like, hey, make an infinity barrel or anything like that. I think it's more like find a dedicated, like blocked out, intentional weekend, day, whatever it is, to create something special for you and your closest friends. This is something, 2 days ago, we blocked out next year's trip. And it is this sacred time that has become this thing that we do for the last 15 years. And so I think every time we get new people there or we just get back together, I think it's something that I value more and more every year that we continue to do this thing. And so I think that's my tip. Find something that, whatever it is, and make it, put it on the calendar, but make it a thing. And then build from there. When we started out, there was 3 of us, and we showed up and we ate brats for 3 days straight and didn't know what we were doing. And, now we've got 3 boats, 11 guys, whiskey, like it's crazy. We had a chef this year. Like, what? He just happens to be a friend, but it's fun to see how it grows. And so that's my tip. Find something and make it yours.
I love
Awesome.
it. I love it.
Fantastic.
Corey, what do you got this week?
So when I did the sold the art piece, it's in yet again, it's weird to say my friend Mark Nuge, but we went to shoot with him last weekend or a couple weekends ago. That'll be at some point we probably run down a little bit of that. That was pretty wild to have a shootout with former special forces folks and made me realize how bad a shot I am. But more than anything, those guys started telling stories, and like they are for real. Like when you talk about American heroes, they're like it's capital A American heroes. So it's cool to chat with those guys. But Mark's book is out now called Swords of Lightning. So he wrote a book alongside a couple of his compatriots that were special forces members. They were the first special forces unit into Afghanistan after 9/11. They ended up riding horses due to a lack of equipment in Afghanistan, which is amazing. Mark was a former Kansas cowboy and rode rodeo in Kansas, so he ended up teaching a bunch of his guys how to ride because they had to on short notice. And for 12 dudes to show up and 12 dudes to come back, pretty amazing in the circumstances. So Bob Pennington, Jim DeFelice are also co-authors of the book Swords of Lightning, and it's them telling their stories. And those dudes had for real input. 12 Strong as a movie is a cool movie, but it's not super. They take some liberties to make it very Hollywood, and Swords of Lightning is kind of like the for real story. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's fantastic. It's available now, like everywhere, bookstores and Amazon and all that stuff. And yeah, good dudes. If you can get to Kansas, I could probably get that thing signed for you. But yeah, he's a good dude. And their distillery just got purchased. So the Horse Soldier Distillery boys are like they are for real in. Not only is it going to have a fantastic facility in Kentucky, but they're pretty soon to be nationwide, all 50 states distribution, the whole thing. So it's turned into a real deal. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And it's on Audible.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Just
I'll
download
be, yeah, I'll be grabbing that right after
So
this.
I was like, hey, did you need someone to like read the audio version? He was like, oh, that would have been cool. I'm like, hey,
what are we doing?
Corey,
help me help you.
You would have been amazing.
that's a legit thing. Like Ray Porter, the guy that does the Terminalist thing, is like a Audible like hero for multiple books and all this stuff. So if you get into that genre, that'd be cool.
Wow.
Reading Audible stuff, it's neat. I also have a book, Audible book for my recommendation. Although the Audible book may not be the best, but Jocko Willink, who's an ex-Navy SEAL, you probably heard of him at some point. Willink or something like that, wrote a book called Extreme Ownership a long time ago. And I just started listening to it, and it's been great. It really puts a lot of onus on you and just trying to like live your life the best you can with focus and intentionality or whatever word that should be. But yeah, it's been good. So I've been halfway through that on Audible, and maybe that's another just the tip is Audible's awesome. It's just great because your buddy's book's probably like $30 up here, and the Audible subscription's half that, and I get it for a credit, so I'll take it. So an Audible subscription is also a pretty solid just the tip. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. So if I could leave with one other little bit, after you talk about all of that stuff, is like I think that people underestimate probably how important stuff like this is. It's like it's five bros hanging out. So I would say that there was an interesting study that came out that said like 87% of the general public likes their friends to quote check in on them from time to time. I think that number is probably low. I think it's 100%, but 13% didn't want to own it. So yeah, check in on your friends, even if all it takes is every once in a while a little text or a phone call. I think that's super important. So I thought that was funny when it said 87%. I was like, come on, everybody likes people to check in on and make sure that they're good. So yeah, there's little morning show bits, but yeah, call your people, call your friends, make sure they're okay.
Love that. And on that note,
ooh,
come on, guys, say it.
Stay buttoned up.
Stay buttoned up.
There we are. Cheers, everyone.
We're still figuring this